In the heart of Omu, a vast and prosperous kingdom nestled between the rolling hills and the sacred river Ogun, a young prince named Adedayo was born to King Adetokunbo and Queen Olutola. The celebration of his birth echoed across the land, for Adedayo was not just any child, he was the heir, the future of Omu, destined to inherit the crown and continue the royal legacy. But soon after his birth, strange whispers began to circulate. A curse cast by an ancient and vengeful sorcerer had befallen the royal family. This curse revealed itself slowly but unmistakably as Adedayo grew into a handsome, noble young man. Once each day, like clockwork, a madness would overtake him, turning his peaceful demeanor into something violent and uncontrollable. His eyes, once gentle like the clear sky, would darken and swell with a storm no one could calm. His rage spared no one, not even his beloved mother, Queen Olutola. The kingdom was divided. Many feared him, calling for his isolation in the royal compound. The elders, worried about his fitness to rule, urged King Adetokunbo to seek counsel from the gods. But the Oba, though shaken, refused to give up on his son. The family, desperate for a solution, employed the finest diviners, medicine men, and sages from distant lands, but nothing worked. This curse could not be broken. One fateful day, Adedayo, disguised as a commoner, ventured into the sprawling marketplace in the heart of Omu. He had grown tired of the palace walls, tired of being treated like a fragile object about to break. It was here, in the midst of life, colour and noise, that his world would change forever. As he wandered through the busy stalls, the curse struck. The familiar darkness clouded his vision, and a violent rage erupted within him. Market women screamed, children scattered, and vendors abandoned their wares in a mad scramble to escape the fury of the prince. But amidst the chaos, there was one who did not run. Her name was Abeni. She was no ordinary woman. Born to a humble family of herbalists, Abeni was known for her quiet strength and a wisdom beyond her years. She had spent her life observing the healing powers of plants and listening to the whispers of nature. But her true gift was something even she did not fully understand. It was a calming presence, a tranquility that surrounded her like an aura, one that had suited the restless and brought peace to the troubled. As Adedayo's madness peaked, Abeni stepped forward. Her heart pounded in her chest, but something inside her refused to let her flee. She met the prince's wild gaze with her own steady eyes, and as if by some miracle, the storm within him began to subside. His fists, once clenched in fury, loosened. His breathing slowed. The market, which had been in uproar, fell silent as they witnessed what no one had ever managed to do. Abeni, unaware of the power she had just unleashed, was left standing before the prince, who looked at her in awe, as if she were the first breath of peace he had ever known. News of the incident reached the palace swiftly. The royal family, Desperate to understand how this mysterious woman had accomplished what no one else could, summoned Abeni to the palace. She arrived, uncertain and wary of the powerful figures now taking an interest in her, but her curiosity and compassion for the prince drew her in. King Adetokunbo, still regal and imposing despite the strain of his son's condition, greeted her alongside the queen and the royal advisers. Their eyes held a mixture of hope and skepticism. Could this simple village woman truly be the key to curing the curse that had tormented their family for years? After formalities, Abeni was taken to Adedayo's private quarters. It was there that she saw the prince, not as the madman from the marketplace, but as a young man burdened by a curse he had no control over. His eyes, though gentle now, carried the weight of isolation, of being feared by his people and doubted by his own family. You you did something to me, he said quietly, his voice steady but laced with curiosity and confusion. I don't know how, but for the first time in my life, the madness left me when you looked at me. Abeni, unsure of what she had done, met his gaze. I don't know what happened either, but I want to help. And thus began her stay at the palace, not as a servant or a healer, but as the prince's caretaker. Each day, when the curse threatened to overwhelm him, Abeni would stand by his side, her presence alone calming the storm that raged inside him. Over time, their bond deepened. What started as a duty turned into something far more profound. Adedayo found in Abeni a peace that no potion or incantation could offer. However, their growing closeness did not go unnoticed within the palace walls. Jealousy brewed. The king's trusted advisor, Chief Olokun, who had long harboured ambitions for his daughter to marry the prince, began to plot against Abeni. Whispers of witchcraft and dark magic started to swirl through the palace corridors. How else could a simple village girl have such power over the cursed prince? Abeni, though unshaken by the rumours, could sense the shift in the air. She knew that the palace, with all its splendour, was not immune to the same jealousy and greed that plagued the common people. And yet, amidst the danger, something powerful was beginning to bloom between her and Adedayo. A love born not out of duty or obligation, but out of a deep understanding and shared strength. As Abeni's influence over Adedayo grew, so did the animosity within the palace. Chief Oloko, with his thirst for power and status, began to spread dangerous lies, hoping to turn the king against her. She is no healer, your majesty, Olokun would whisper. How could a mere girl calm the madness that none of our most skilled physicians could take? There is something unnatural about her, something dangerous. The king, though grateful for his son's improvement, could not shake the seeds of doubt planted by his trusted adviser, and soon the pressure mounted. The queen, worried for her son's reputation and future as king, began to question whether Abeni's influence would threaten the royal lineage. The storm was building, both inside and outside the palace walls, and Abeni and Adedayo would soon face a choice whether to fight for their love and for the prince's freedom from the curse, or to succumb to the forces working tirelessly to tear them apart. As Abeni continued to ease the prince's curse day by day, the people of Omu noticed a change in Adedayo. His once erratic behavior grew rare, and when it appeared, Abeni was always there to restore peace. For the first time in years, the kingdom began to whisper in hope. Perhaps the curse can be killed. The elders, once doubtful of the prince's fitness to rule, grew silent, watching as he regained control of his life. But in the shadows of the palace, Chief Olokun fumed. He knew that if the prince married Abeni, a mere commoner with no noble blood, it would destroy all his carefully laid plans. His daughter Omoshede was beautiful and poised for royalty, yet the prince barely glanced her way. Desperation grew in Olokun's heart, turning his ambitions into something darker. Late one night, Olokun visited a powerful Babalawo known for his dealings in both light and dark magic. He sought a way to break Abeni's hold on the prince. I cannot let her take what is rightfully mine, he hissed, eyes glowing with fury. The Babalawo, after consulting with the spirits, warned Olokun of the cost of meddling with such powerful forces. But blinded by greed, Olokun ignored the warnings. The Babalawo crafted a powerful charm to reverse Abeni's influence. It would slowly drive a wedge between her and the prince, creating doubts in Adedayo's mind and amplifying the madness within him. The curse, instead of subsiding, would grow stronger, leading the kingdom to believing that Abeni was the source of the prince's illness, not its cure. With the charm in hand, Olokun set his plan in motion. The charm began to take effect almost immediately. Where Abeni's presence once brought calm, the prince now began to feel a strange unease around her. His madness, once easily soothed, began to intensify. Worse, rumors began spreading throughout the palace. Rumors whispered by Olokun's loyal followers that Abeni had bewitched the prince, that she was the cause of his suffering. Prince Adedayo, torn between his love for Abeni and the growing doubt planted in his heart, began to distance himself. Abeni, sensing the change, grew heartbroken but refused to abandon him. She knew something was terribly wrong. As the kingdom fell into turmoil, the queen, pressured by the elders and Olokun's manipulations, ordered that Abeni be removed from the palace. She could no longer trust the village girl, who, as it seemed, had brought more suffering than peace. Abeni was banished back to her village, and Chief Olokun celebrated quietly, believing his victory was near. Back in her village, Abeni did not wallow in despair. She had always believed in the power of love and truth, and she knew that something dark was at work in the palace. With the help of her mother, a skilled herbalist and spiritual healer, Abeni sought out the ancient wisdom of the ancestors. Deep in the sacred forest, she found a priestess who revealed the truth. Olokun had cursed the prince once more, feeding his madness with dark magic. Determined to save the prince, Abeni returned to the palace in secret. She sought an audience with the Oba, knowing that confronting the royal family openly would only lead to further distrust. Abeni, in her bravery, convinced the Oba to allow her to perform a cleansing ritual that would expose the source of the prince's madness. In the dead of night, with the royal family gathered, Abeni performed the ritual. The air grew thick with tension, and as the flames flickered before the shrine of the ancestors, a dark shadow emerged from the prince, screaming in agony. Oloko's twisted charm was revealed. The elders, once skeptical of Abeni, now stood in awe as the truth came to light. Chief Oloko, unable to hide his treachery any longer, was dragged before the king. His deceit and his lust for power were laid bare for all to see. He was stripped of his titles and banished from the kingdom. His daughter sent with him in disgrace. The palace, once filled with doubt and fear, was finally at peace. With Oloko's evil plots undone, Prince Adedayo's madness subsided for the first time in his life. His bond with Abeni, tested by trials and lies, emerged stronger than ever. In front of the kingdom, he proclaimed his love for her, not just as the woman who had saved him from his curse, but as his equal, his peace, and his future queen. Despite her humble beginnings, Abeni was crowned queen beside Adedayo, proving that true nobility is not of bloodline but of character. The kingdom rejoiced, celebrating a love that had overcome betrayal, curses, and the darkest ambition. Whether you found inspiration in Abeni's resilience or strength in Adedayo's transformation, we hope you take away the powerful message that love can conquer even the darkest challenges. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe for more captivating tales that explores the rich tapestries of African folk tales and culture. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an adventure. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What part of the story resonates with you the most? Share your reflections in the comments below and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep believing, and remember the power of love and truth will always prevail. Bye.